The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Every time I play that, it makes you smile, doesn't it?
It does, Rod. I know that you're going to somehow get me.
Get you. We're talking about dating and food today.
Yes.
Studies come out. Men apparently get turned on by women who order messy, hands-on food.
Yes. Burritos, fajitas. Very good. Very good. Exciting.
And also, women
Interesting.
apparently think salad is boring.
Women think salad is boring.
If a man chooses salad.
Oh, yes.
If a man chooses salad,
Yes.
it's a bit wimpish, according
Okay.
to this survey.
Okay, so what, do they need to eat steak?
Yeah, be like a caveman.
Yeah, okay. Are you like a caveman?
Not really, no.
No?
No,
Okay.
but I've been out with a couple of people who have they had some quirky traits on a date with food. One was so slow at eating. She ordered soup, and it was probably an hour and a half before we finished. I was sort of giving up the will to live.
But it's really difficult to eat with somebody on a first date. That's my opinion. And I know in the case of a woman anyway, that she notices everything that you eat and how you eat it.
Really?
Yep, and it can make or break the potential relationship. So it's quite important. But no pressure there, Rob.
No pressure at all. Maybe best to avoid food on a first date, possibly.
I would prefer to avoid food, although maybe, share an ice cream. I don't know.
And another one I went out with, she had a knife and fork round the wrong way.
She was so nervous. Bless her.
I didn't say anything.
Didn't.
Say anything. Anyway, let's hear from Joe Hemmings, who's a behavioural psychologist.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Can what you eat put someone off a date?
Very much so. Half of adults in the UK, dating adults, say they make judgments about their date based on the food they choose on a meal out. And nearly a quarter of them have been put off by someone they were on a date with because of the food they chose. And actually in London, those statistics are even higher. So we're even fussier. And we've got 61% saying food choices would impact the chances of a kiss at the end of the night. And a whopping 45% have been put off by someone by their food choices.
It may just be me, but I have a thing about how things smell. So if I was on a date and someone ordered a really smelly dish, that would definitely put me off them.
Yeah, interesting that wasn't part of the research, but of course anything really smelly probably would put you off. I mean, that's the point. What came out very, very well were actually sharing dishes. Again, 58% of people in London ordered something they could share as a dish, because at least that way you can have what you fancy eating. May not be identical to the person that you're with, but at least you're connecting over a plate of food with a choice on it. But yeah, smelly food, I don't know any restaurant should really be serving up smelly food anyway. Sure TGI Fridays don't, do they, Terry?
Definitely not.
No.
And what about stealing food from your date's plate?
Stealing, okay. Yeah, that bit where you order a salad and then you really fancy what they've ordered?
Yeah, that.
Okay. Again, not in this particular survey, but what was in it was that salads are considered to be pretty boring, that men who order salads are a bit wimpy, and men don't like women ordering them either. They like women to enjoy their food. So the thing is, to order what you fancy in the first instance, you won't have to steal, but kind of eating each other's food, whether it's a sharing place or not, it's sort of sexy, isn't it? Maybe not so much in the stealing sense, but in the offering sense would be quite nice.
Is it different in terms of men and women in what they should order?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, what was interesting perhaps was that 1 in 10 men said they would be turned on by a woman who ordered messy food. I'll let you draw your own conclusions as to why. And a third of men said they found women who enjoyed their food, had a large appetite, attractive. So clearly what they don't want, someone who's pushing a lettuce leaf around a plate.
Yeah, because I've been on a date where I've eaten something and the person opposite just doesn't eat. It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, what's the point in going out for dinner if you're not going to eat anything? I do understand there is a sort of anxiety perhaps on the first date, which this survey was really looking at. There is anxiety, so perhaps you're not as hungry as you might be further on down the line in your relationship. But it makes you feel uncomfortable if you're eating and your partner isn't, basically. So you both really kind of ought to be eating something you both fancy.
And you're sort of recommending going to a restaurant that's not too expensive, so where you can be more relaxed?
Yeah, again, the survey said that a restaurant costing around £25 per head was revealed to be more popular as a date venue than a meal costing twice as much. And I think that makes it more casual and more relaxed. I mean, if you're on a very, if you go to an expensive restaurant, it tends to be, I suppose, more formal. And to be absolutely honest, I think the expectation that sometimes women fear or men have of a very expensive restaurant and the after-date promise is worse at a more expensive restaurant. So one that's good value for money, I think, makes everybody feel more relaxed.
And you've also got some sort of top tips on what you can do on a date to appear more attractive.
Yes, again, they were slightly different between men and women. 56% of women would like men to have good manners on a date and to ask lots of questions about the other person. The top two things women can do that men like is to ask lots of questions about the other person. But the interesting thing is this kind of tucking into food thing keeps coming up, that the enjoyment of food is very important in having a good date. Interesting, one of them was that women should do is engaging in banter with waiting staff. I'm not entirely sure what that reveals. I presume engaging in banter doesn't mean flirting with the waiting staff. You be yourself is the ultimate thing. Being yourself and relaxing and enjoying the company and not overthinking your food choice or anything else, but still making an effort are probably my top tip.
Yeah, I'd be a bit worried about the waiting staff if my date got on better with the waiter than me.
Yeah, I know. I found that kind of interesting. Perhaps it shows that if you engage in banter, then you're a nice person and you're friendly and easy to get on with. But yeah, it depends how we define banter, doesn't it really?
I'd be furious if my date started chatting up the waiter, wouldn't you?
Well, it could be awkward. She did say banter and not really flirting, but hey.
So that was Jo Hemmings, a behavioural psychologist. Going back to what I was saying before about that date I had where she had the cutlery round the wrong way. You pointed out she could have been left-handed.
Absolutely, which would make it perfectly correct for her.
So it's me, wasn't it?
It was you.
Stupid.
It would have been a topic of conversation.
Yeah. Thing is, I like ribs, and that's probably not a good one on a date, is it?
It's quite messy. It is quite messy, and you could get kind of a lovely extended sauce line around your mouth, which might not be that sexy. But what I've read you should avoid is more simple things like milk. You can't drink milk because apparently your date might think you're a bit of a man-child.
Okay.
And the other thing you can't order is vanilla ice cream because...
Vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, because she's going to think you're boring. You don't take risks. You don't enjoy the finer things in life. And a relationship with you, possibly sex life, could be just as boring as that scoop of vanilla. I read it. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, love your research. And also that survey... It didn't sort of cover this, but it also says, in addition, a third of men said they found women with a large appetite attractive.
Oh,
a large appetite.
Well, I suppose it's like an appetite for life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Appetite for food. It's a good sign. It means you'll be enthusiastic about other things too. But I think a little bit of dark chocolate.
What about a flake?
No.
What about if you order the vanilla ice cream and say, I'll have a flake in that?
No, a square of dark chocolate. It contains a host of sex drive-inducing compounds, including phenylethylamine, the love chemical.
Well done. You were worried about saying that, weren't you?
It was, and I've said it. And apparently it's a very good thing to enjoy for... a romantic life, a good romantic life, I'll put it that way. But you have to be careful, don't you, that you don't end up with a nice little chocolate moustache.
Oh, dear.
No.
Oh. Thanks, Debbie.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.